Welcome back to another video. Just want to say I'm so sorry I didn't post one last month. As many of you know, I am going through a really big move right now. So this actually might be the last time you see this exact backdrop in one of my videos. So today's video, again, because I haven't had too much time, but I have upgraded with a mic, so hopefully this is much better on your ears and you guys can hear me loud and clear. But this video is going to be another quick video. Again, I'm sorry, I hope it will be worth it. But yes, I am going to be doing a suit up of Charizard. Now, many of you may have seen my Charizard from the past. He's kind of an old costume now, but I still get a few people here and there asking me questions about him. So I really just want to dedicate this video to Charizard the suit up and kind of like a bit more of a simpler way of making suits as opposed to my animatronics. Speaking of moving though, in the past, Charizard lived in a questionable state, just thrown at the back of a lockup in lots of pieces. But now he's been moved to his new home in my workshop, so I need to take you guys there. I'm not going to show you too much of my workshop because I am really in the middle of sorting it out. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you'll see all the struggles I'm going through. I may have paint on my face right now. I hope I don't, because I was painting the ceiling and stuff. So there's really a lot going on, but I'm going to take you guys there and not show you too much because you're going to see that when it's actually ready and not just a complete mess. So off I go. Okay, now we're in my workshop. This is only a little bit of a sneak peek, so this is all hopefully you're going to see for now, but soon there should be a video or more on what I'm getting up to in this area. Anyway, going back to Charizard, when I made him, I originally was going to make him for me, but then Simon... Hello! Do you want to redo that? Okay. But then Simon... That's what? Oh my God, what do I do? Tell me what you do. Not those. Simon, he insisted on wearing the costume, and I got a lot of comments that were like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for the person in the costume and all this stuff, but honestly, I'm not... Great. I loved it. I'm not threatening him at all, I promise, I promise. I'm also not paying him. He genuinely really wanted to wear it, so that's why Simon is here today and he is going to be wearing the costume again. Okay, so Charizard is actually made out of foam, this squishy foam right here. So again, going back onto the oh, are you torturing someone? I feel so bad for them inside. It's super light, like I've got noodle arms and this is extremely light. It's also hollow. So this is like the stuff you make out of sofas, and then this is just EVA foam, and it's fabric. That's literally the only other thing. PVC poles here. This was all made just with a knife and some glue and a heat gun just to bend the PVC. So really this cost me probably about, I think the most expensive part was the fabric. So I think including the fabric, it was probably around 200 pounds, which is probably like $250, which is obviously a lot of money, but if I cheaped out on the fabric, it would have cost a lot less. But I will say the only disadvantage of this is PVC. PVC is extremely easy to work with, and if you wear the correct PPE, you can avoid like inhaling any of the toxic fumes when you heat it, because it is so easy. Because it is so easy to heat and mold, and that way, you know, you can have a skeleton inside of your big monster suit, and you don't really need any tools for it. But the problem is, I did this same technique for when I had Toothless. He's like a big 5-meter dragon. But anyway, we had a van, and it was kind of loose in the van a bit, and we had to do an emergency stop. And everything was fine, but we just had to do an emergency stop on the motorway. And that slide that Toothless took from the back of the van to the front of the van, it must have like hit his head as we did that. And that velocity? I don't know what the actual word is, but like I see the physics of it. The force that came from that traveled through the head and down to its weakest parts, which was the PVC. So it ended up shattering all the way down the PVC. So if you want like an easier giant build, and a cheaper giant build than PVC is perfect for this. But if you're looking for something that can withstand like a lot, you're probably going to have to get some sort of aluminium welded frame. But again, this costume's not about that. So anyway, that's what that waffle is about. All the pieces are here, so cue the montage. And then all these pieces, guys, are just being velcroed, some are being zipped on. Yep, perfect. Nothing crazy. Now I'm going to show you some extra features I've added to Charizard a bit later after I made him. Starting with his tail. So in here, this is one of my first things I ever coded and made. We have like this LED fire. Oh, you might be seeing a little bit of tape underneath the tail of Charizard. The reason that there's tape there is just because that tends to be where the tail hits the floor a lot. And when you're walking around corners and stuff, like it can get very dirty, so I just put some masking tape on the bottom so I can replace it when it gets too dirty. And if it works, it's been a few years, when I use this, it should look like fire, or at least smoke coming out. Yeah. So normally that is actually red, but I think over the years it's changed. But it used to work really well. It's just a bit old now. Okay, so let's see Charizard's movement. Voice, left, left. So this is an insight of what it would be like around Comic-Con. Come forwards. Luckily we'd get loads of help from the staff. That's not gonna work, go back. So normally I use 2 doors. As you can see, he doesn't fit through the door, so normally I would build him inside the room, or I would make sure there was some double doors. But today, there you go, guys, that's how I put on this now very old costume, Charizard, and I hope that you've either learned something from this video or you just enjoyed it in general. I'll be back to my normal videos or a new format of videos, hopefully very soon, starting with my... Oh, I forgot to mention you can actually see through here, so this is why this is there. But yeah, so hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Can't tell you what it is yet, but it's gonna be cool. Bye bye!